What's up, everybody? It's Coach Colton at Columbus Martial Arts. I hope you're having an amazing Friday so far. We're set to have some awesome sunny weather this weekend. Last time I checked, it was really nice outside. Last weekend it was pouring down. Earlier this week it was pouring down, so hopefully we have a nice time of it. I just want to kind of give a quick update to everybody. Earlier this week I did a Facebook Live video about how we're reopening for classes, and I just wanted to kind of give some updates on that to all of our students out there and let them know what was going on with the reopening. So if you didn't see that video, just a quick recap. Earlier this week, Governor Kemp, the Georgia governor, came on and stated they were allowing some of the businesses that were closed due to the coronavirus to reopen. And our academy fell kind of within that group that was reopening in the first wave, and we're able to reopen for classes. If you heard the video from earlier this week, you heard that we were reopening and reopening for classes next week. That's actually getting pushed back 1 week, so we will not be open for classes on Monday, April 27th, as originally planned. We'll be opening on Monday, May 4th. And the main reason for that is just to make sure everything's getting ready here at the Academy, and I'll explain that a little bit in a bit. The decision to reopen was a very easy decision to make for our students because we have had a lot of families waiting for us to reopen. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a politician or anything like that. I can't make a decision on what's safe or what's healthy. What I can do is teach amazing martial arts classes to the families that want to participate. And I understand some families may not want to participate, they may not be comfortable, they might have some other thing where they can't travel or pre-existing condition. And we definitely don't want to leave those families high and dry, those students that can't come to classes. So we are definitely still continuing to do our online offerings as well. As things kind of return to normal for those families that can't yet bring their student back to class. We are reopening on Monday, May 4th for classes. The reason for the 1 week delay is we just really want to make sure that we are ready for those classes. By the way, if you're dropping in and you're watching live, drop me a hashtag live. If you're watching later, drop me a hashtag replay, always much appreciated. The delay is kind of for a couple reasons. One, we just want to make sure everything's spick and span and clean and ready for logistics of our classes that we're going to have set up, because the classes are going to be a little bit different upon reopening. And we also needed to tweak the schedule a little bit. After talking to some of the parents and with the class schedule we came out earlier this week, we wanted to make sure that there were some more class offerings and some different class offerings than what were originally put out in that link earlier this week. So if you've already clicked on that link and you reserved your classes, don't worry. A lot of those classes will still be there, but I'm going to be sending out a new link very soon with some different class times on it. The main thing being that we made some more class offerings available after 5:30 so that families that are still working can still get here for those later classes. But now I want to talk a little bit about some of the ways that the classes are going to be different than the classes we had before the break, because there's a couple things we obviously have to do to make sure everybody's staying nice and safe and making all the families feel comfortable and able to train if they're ready to. And the first thing we're doing is we're limiting class sizes to classes of 10 or less. So that's the main reason we're having people reserve their class times, is we can make sure that we're not going to have over that amount. So you cannot just show up for class. You do have to reserve those class times. Like I said, I'll be sending out in a link that you can click on and save those classes for your students. In addition to that, kind of just keeping the crowd small and adhering to those standards, there won't be any spectators in the academy right off the bat. Feel free to drop your student off, go run a couple quick errands, some essential errands, and come back, or just stay in the parking lot and chill in the car, maybe listen to some music, do some work from home, that kind of thing. And of course, if anything were to happen, we'll shoot you a call and make sure that we communicate that. But things don't really happen anyways, the classes will be fine there. So the first thing is we're only accepting 10 students per class. If you come in and you're not signed up, we will have to turn you away, unfortunately, and make sure you reserve your class time. Speaking of turning people away, all the students in class will be screened before they come into class. So as they walk in, we're going to ask them a couple simple questions. Same thing with the parent. Just, have they had any fevers recently? Have they been experiencing any flu-like symptoms? Have they done a lot of traveling recently? Just some basic run-of-the-mill stuff, just to make sure that we have all the information we need. On top of that, they're going to have their temperature checked. Anyone coming in above 99 degrees Fahrenheit will not be able to participate in the class. And that's just, again, to make sure everyone is staying safe. Same thing if they're not running a temperature, but they have some flu-like symptoms. If we see they're coughing a lot, they got a runny nose, they're sneezing. Again, we're not doctors. We're not trying to prescribe and diagnose. Do they have the flu? Do they have corona? Do they have allergies? Unfortunately, we're gonna have to turn them away. Again, we just want all of our students to stay safe. So if we see anything that may be unsafe, we gotta nip it in the bud and just, unfortunately can't do the class at that time. And of course, all of our staff is going through the same screening process. All the staff is having their temperature checked. All the staff is being asked the same questions. Staff and students, of course, are going to have hand sanitizer and be washing their hands frequently throughout to make sure that no germs are passed around. And this isn't a new thing for us. There's always that safety on our mind. Safety is always the number one concern when you're dealing with martial arts and you're dealing especially with the younger students. There's a danger when you're in close proximity with another person, whether it's viral, bacterial, fungal, things pass very quickly. Every flu season, I'm talking to my students constantly about, keeping their gear clean, washing their hands, making sure they shower right after the class, cleaning their uniform, not just throwing it in a gym bag, letting it get all sweaty and coming back to class. That's always on the forefront of our mind. Not even bringing the physical part into perspective with, the punching and the kicking and any danger involved there. There's always a risk factor. And we're just right now, the time we're in, some of the risk factors kind of being highlighted, and we want to make sure that we do what we need to do our part to make sure everyone that is coming in to train is staying safe and practicing safe habits. Additionally, students will need gloves. If they have a pair of boxing gloves or a pair of MMA gloves, please bring them. And they'll also need a face mask to do the class, so make sure you have both of those things. The cleaners we're using on the mats, of course, we clean our mats and clean our materials regularly. Those cleaners are on the EPA list for killing coronavirus. So the cleaners we are using, if there were to be something there, it will get rid of it. On top of everything else we're doing with the screening and the questions and the temperature checking and the small groups and the distancing, the cleaner we're using does combat it. The content of the classes is a little different. We will be having some restrictions on what we're doing in the class. We won't be grappling right away. We won't be doing a lot of sparring, a lot of rolling, close proximity stuff. It's going to be more striking. This is great because we're just coming off of a break. This is exactly where our students need. They are going to be a little rusty, especially if they haven't been tuning into the online classes, which have been going great, by the way. The online classes, I'm not sure how many of you that are watching right now, leave a comment about how the online class has been going down in the comment section. They've been going fantastic. I love being able to talk to students, see them at home, make sure they're doing okay, and give them some normality and some consistency in some very inconsistent time right now where we're kind of out of our normal schedule, out of our normal routine. The martial arts classes online have been great. It's really, really been going well. So a lot of students, if they haven't been tuning in, or if they have been tuning in but kind of just not putting in their full effort into it, they're gonna be rusty and they're gonna need that review of the striking, of their stances, of distance control, and these things that are very, very important for self-defense and competition. Very, very important stuff. If you're dropping in live right now, drop me #live, much appreciated. Speaking of which, if you're not already following us on Facebook, we're gonna be continuing to put out updates. Things are changing constantly. So make sure you're following us on Facebook so you always see the live videos we're posting. Same thing with YouTube. We're gonna be posting videos on YouTube, just kind of giving the same info. So if you ever missed the live or don't have Facebook, you can always go over there. We've been posting recordings of the Zoom classes on YouTube. So if your student has a lot of energy someday and they need a little extra workout, pop one of those on and have them do a little extra work. It can't hurt, and it's going to be an awesome resource to look back and practice some of their basics and get ready for their stripe tests. So quick recap. Our opening date is getting pushed back 1 week to May 4th just to make sure the schedule's good, the staff's ready, the classes are ready, logistics are good. We can start training super safe and super well, just making sure everything's ironed out with a fine-tooth comb. Other than that, just kind of a quick run through of all the different things that we're doing to stay safe. We're using EPA grade cleaner that can kill coronavirus. We're limiting class sizes. We're restricting certain class content to make sure that we're not, up in each other's grills, constantly breathing on each other and all that kind of stuff. Make sure when I send that link out, parents, I'm going to be sending out through our normal text channel that you reserve your students' class times immediately so you can make sure that they get in before that class time fills. Other than that, last thing I want to hit on today is just a quick message to our students and to the students' families as well. This is a weird time, right? This is kind of, there's no thing in recent history that's kind of like this. It's kind of a weird time. We've been staying at home a lot, and it's definitely a time of adversity. And as a coach and as a role model, I was trying to teach our students to do the right thing. it's very easy to kind of set a poor example at this time. A lot of families, a lot of people in general, I guess, are just taking this as a time to give up, as a time to complain about how bad things are, as an opportunity to kind of just do nothing. And that's the wrong message that we're sending our students and sending our youth. Really make sure students out there, if you're watching or whoever's watching, make sure we're setting a good example for them. Because the students that have been tuning in and staying consistent, it's okay to take a day off every once in a while, but to sit around and do nothing, that's dangerous. You're losing track of your goals, you're losing commitment, you're losing that consistency, and that's going to set the students back. I'm interested to see this next belt test whenever it comes up, to see how the students do that have been tuning into class and see how the students do that have been sitting on their bottom doing nothing, playing Fortnite, eating Doritos. I'm interested to see how well or how not well they do on their belt test. It's very, very important that when students are met with adversity and they're met with trying times, that they kind of roll up their shirt sleeves and they learn about work ethic. And that kind of brings me to my next point, which is thank you guys so much for those families out there that have been showing us support. I know it's been a lot on your plates, working from home. Your students had school from home. Your students have had, a lot of things going on. I'm sure things with your work have been going on a lot. You've had a lot on your plates, and to continue to support us, it is much, much appreciated. And thank you for being those good role models who continue to work throughout this time, and just showing our students all those good habits, because that's really why we're all here. It's not to punch, it's not to kick. Of course we want our students to be able to defend themselves, but it's also about the character aspect and the determination and the drive and the maturity to say, hey, this might not be the best time ever, but we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to keep our chins down, our hands up, and before you know it, it's going to be in the past. We're just going to continue to do the best we can and make the best decisions we can in the moment, and that's what really being a leader is all about. And sometimes to do nothing, that's a really dangerous thing. But as always, thank you guys. I hope everyone stays safe. I hope you have an amazing weekend. The weather's set to be very nice, so hopefully you get out and about a little bit, have maybe a nice outdoor day, ride a bike, do something. But otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the mats soon. May 4th, we're opening back up. Or if not, I'll see you in Zoom on those online classes. Have an amazing weekend. Have an amazing time. Make safe decisions. I'll see you soon.